Everybody, thanks for tuning in on this Monday morning, the day after the NFC and AFC championship games. Uh, 49er fans probably aren't real happy with the outcomes of those games, setting up an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. But the big news in 49er land is that Kyle Shanahan has now hired the two most important vacancies on his coaching staff, Robert Saleh last week as defensive coordinator, and then today, Brant Boyer. So he takes over as the 49ers special teams coordinator, replacing Brian Schneider, who was fired after the 49ers 6 and 11 season. Brant Boyer played 10 seasons in the NFL. He was a linebacker, played for Jacksonville, Miami, Cleveland. He served as an assistant coach with the Colts for 4 seasons, and then he's been the special teams coordinator for the New York Jets for the past several seasons beginning in 2016. So in 2016, he was hired by Todd Bowles. Then he was retained by Adam Gase. Robert Saleh kept him on his staff. And then, of course, when Jeff Ulbrich took over as a special teams coordinator, or I'm sorry, as the interim head coach, Brant Boyer remained as a special teams coordinator. I think that shows a lot about what Boyer is thought of by having so many different coaches come in, and then they've all decided to keep him around. So typically, when a new head coach comes in, he's going to make wholesale changes. He wants to bring in his own guys. But with Brant Boyer, three different head coaches decided that he was the best fit for this team. So now it becomes he enters a situation where Kyle Shanahan did a lot of pushing back in his end of season press conference when asked about the 49ers special teams and the amount of attention that he pays to it. But this is kind of a turning point now where I do believe the 49ers have to sink resources into it, whatever it might be, because what they've been doing hasn't worked. Richard Hightower was let go several years ago as special teams coordinator. Brian Schneider, who came in with quite a reputation, he didn't get the job done, and so it's the kicking game, it's the coverage units, it's all the mistakes. And we saw so many mistakes. I mean, really beginning week 2 when the 49ers lost to the Vikings, blocked field goals, blocked punts, giving up fourth down, fake punts. There were just so many things that went wrong for the 49ers. And of course, it was capped off by Jake Moody's kind of extreme struggles in the kicking game after he came back from the high ankle sprain, and he got injured because he had to put his body on the line to make a tackle on a kickoff return. And that's the same way that Matthew Wright got injured the following week. So the 49ers, I think, it's not going to cost a whole lot of money to go out and get special teams guys who, veteran players who have a history playing special teams. That's I think really what they need to do. And they did that several years ago when they went out and got George Odom, and then they got Oren Burks that same offseason. So those are two guys who Odom backup safety, but really a core special teams player. Oren Burks the same way. We see Oren Burks playing for the Eagles and playing quite effectively. So, 49ers have to figure out just how do you construct a roster and at the bottom part of the roster have guys who are going to make an impact on special teams, play 20 snaps, 20 plays a game on special teams. And then of course the kicking situation. Talked a lot about this on the last video that I posted, but they need to have competition for Jake Moody. We'll see. I mean, he's a talented guy, late third round pick, but certainly lost his confidence late in the season. So I would assume, I mean, I think the 49ers have to have somebody in there, whether it's a veteran kicker who's just kind of moved around a little bit, but they have to have a legitimate competition for the kicker spot. And it's not like the 49ers haven't had kickers in there who are capable guys. Heck, they had Zane Gonzalez with them in the training camp of 2023 when, there was no question that Jake Moody was going to be the guy. Now, Zane Gonzalez finishes the season with the Washington Commanders. And I mentioned Matthew Wright and Anders Carlson. I mean, those guys are probably NFL kickers, certainly borderline NFL kickers. So 49ers can find guys like that to come in and compete with Jake Moody. So that's the news of the day. The two main spots on the 49ers coaching staff now have been filled with Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator. 49ers get their guy. There was some anxious moments there, I know, for the 49ers and certainly for the 49ers fan base, because as Kyle Shanahan saw the number 2, 3, and 4 guy on his list get hired by other teams, 49ers exercised a lot of patience. They waited for Saleh. When he didn't get a head coaching job, he signed on with the 49ers to return as their defense coordinator. And then Brant Boyer takes over running special teams. So that is the update on this Monday. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment. Um, Tell me what you think of the hire of Brant Boyer and Robert Saleh. And that is it for now.